Hi and welcome back. In this video, we are going to see how Gemini 2.5 Pro handles Python codes using structured prompts to build a maze race game and an advanced tic-tac-toe game. In this video, we will take a leap into Python programming and see how Gemini responds to our prompts to generate console applications, graphical games, and even an AI assistant by its own API. Python is one of the most powerful and flexible languages used in web development, automation, data science, and especially games and application development. Its simplicity allows AI models like Gemini to write and execute beginner-friendly codes. So, we are going to test Gemini on three distinct Python projects. The first being a classical number guessing game using random numbers and logic. Second, a Flappy Bird graphical clone game using Pygames. And third, a real-time Q&A assistant that talks back to you using a Gemini API itself. So let's dive in and evaluate Gemini's performance in Python programming. So our first test is a simple but classical project, a number guessing game in terminal. Gemini is expected to write codes that include number generation, player input, feedback on guesses, and attempt limit and replay options. So, this prompt that we have entered in Gemini will create a structured clean program using random module and conditional loops. It even handles invalid inputs and add replayability with minimal tweaks needed. So, let's see the game that Gemini has created for us. So, it took around 37 seconds to get us the game, and this is the game that it has created for us. Now, let's run this game on our Google Colab. So, it will take a few seconds to run, and you can see it has now created a number for us. So, let's enter a number, let's say 25. So, it is too low. Let's go to 70. All right. So, it says the guess is too high. Let's see if it is 50. Too high still. All right. So, it may be between 25 and 50. So, let's go 35. Okay, too high. So, I think the number can be this 28. Too low. 32. Too high. Let's go with 31. Yeah. So, the number that it guessed was 31. And then I can ask it to play the game again. And then you can start again with the game. So, this is a basic game that Gemini has created for us. Now, let's go to a more advanced game that is Flappy Bird. So, now let's challenge Gemini with a more advanced graphical task, a simplified Flappy Bird game using Pygames. So, this is the prompt that I've entered in Gemini to create the game. So, basically, this game will need a gravity system and player control, random pipe generations, collision detection, real-time scoring, and game reset option. So, I have entered the prompt. You can find all of these prompts in the resources section. So, I have entered the condition that the game should end if the bird collides with the pipe. The game should end if the bird hits the top or bottom of the screen. And I have also entered the other features that were in the game. So, this is the code that it has written for me. And it took Gemini around less than a minute to get me the answer. Now, let's see what kind of game it has created for us. So, I'll go to my Jupyter notebook to see the output. I pasted that code in the Jupyter notebook, and let's see what kind of game it has created for us. Alright, so first I have installed a Pygame to get the game running, and now this is the code that Gemini has created for us. I'm going to run this code, and let's see how the game looks like. So it's going to take a few seconds, and then we can start playing the Flappy Bird game. So this is the game that Gemini has created for us in Python, the Flappy Bird game. So let's start the game. So press space to start. And this is how you can see the games looks like. We have a ball in place of a bird. So that's a bug. But the game is working fine. The mechanics are totally working fine. As you can see, as I press the space, the ball jumps up and down. And it also detects the collision. I can also restart it. And if I fall, it will detect it. So this is a zero shot prompt game that Gemini has created for us. The game looks very good for a zero shot prompt. Now let's move on to a third project, that is creating an AI assistant using the Gemini API. So this is the prompt that I have written. So lastly, we are going to ask Gemini to build itself. That's right, a command line AI assistant using the Gemini API. The program should include the user to input its question, send queries to the Gemini via API, and then return answers with proper formatting. So on running the prompt, Gemini has delivered us a good structured prompt. Now let's run this prompt and see how well the model looks. So this is the bot that we have created using a zero shot prompt on Gemini 2.5 Pro. And let me just now run this. So this is the API key that you will need to run the bot. I'll show you in a second how you can get this API key. Let me run the code, and as you see, it will ask me to enter the API key. Alright, so now let's get the API key. So to get the API key, what you can do is you first have to go to Google AI Studio's website. So go to Google, search for Google AI Studio, then click on the first link that pops up. You will get the Google AI Studio's interface, the model that you want. Now click on this option, get API key. And you can see this is the API key that I have created previously. So I'm just going to copy it. You can also create a new API key by clicking on this option, and this will create a new API key for you. You want a Gemini API key, so create Gemini API key in the existing project. It will take a few seconds and it will generate the key for you. So now I'll copy the API key and I'll paste it in the Python program. So let's now move on to the Python program. Alright, so now I'll input my API key here. Press enter, and as you can see, it will load for a few seconds to see the models that are available, and then it will ask me that what I want. So welcome to Study Buddy bot. Now let's enter a prompt. What is Excel? I'll click on it. It will then think for a few seconds and it will give me a good structured answer. Not similar to what Gemini 2.5 gives us, but it's good because it gives you your own study bot or your own generative AI. So these are all the codes and more that you can create using Gemini and Python. You can try out these prompts yourself and create your own programs or game. So as we did in the previous video, we will now compare the other AI models with the output of Gemini. But in this video, I'll ask you to do it. So you can take the PPT from the resource section and then you can compare the scores of each model by yourself. So it will be a good practice for you. I have rated up the Gemini 2.5 scores by myself, what I feel like the score should be, and then you can take these prompts, you can run these prompts on other AI models and you can score them yourself to see how the other AI models code as compared to Gemini 2.5 Pro. To sum up Gemini 2.5 Pro's performance, we can say it did remarkably well with Python-based tasks ranging from simple command line games to fully fledged graphical applications and API-powered assistants. Its ability to understand prompt structures and generate logical flow and integrate third-party libraries makes it a powerful coding assistant, not just for beginners, but also for professionals looking to accelerate their workflow. If you're building a portfolio, running educational projects, or automating repetitive tasks, Gemini can be a game changer for you. So that's all for this video. In the next videos, we are going to test Gemini 2.5 Pro's multi-model capabilities. So be tuned for that, and I'll see you in the next video.